And while you had, Steve, some fantastic moments as a test player, there are a couple of moments in one-day cricket that would stand out for you. Do you see the one-day game surviving, or do you see the one-day game sort of stumbling its way through?
Look, I hope it survives because there's quite a bit of history with it now, and it'd be a shame for someone like Michael Bevan, who had a great one-day career, to all of a sudden have that obliterated and it's no longer a form of the game. That's his history gone with it, and he put 15 years of work in it. So I think it needs to be tweaked a bit. I do find the middle overs a bit tedious to watch, the 20 to 40 overs. And I recently suggested, it was a bit of a throwaway line, but maybe we increase 4s to 6s, 6s to 9s to get the batsmen to play some more shots. Maybe the bowlers wouldn't be too happy, but on the positive side of that, then they're more a chance of getting wicket if the batsmen are attacking them. So we've got to spruce up those middle overs.
Interesting you say that, because I was going to ask you if you're happy with the balance between bat and ball. Because these days the bat seems to be dominating everywhere. The new technology is bringing all the bats in. Boundary ropes, sometimes there's a temptation to bring them in. Outfields, especially like we saw here in Mumbai, outfields are very quick. Is the balance getting lost?
It is. I mean, how often do you see a 3-run in international cricket these days? Very rarely. And there's not that many 2s, in fact. It's either 1 or 4 or 6. So the outfields are definitely getting shorter and quicker, boundaries smaller, bats seem to be bigger and more powerful, and I think the biggest change is the actual physique of the players. Yeah, they're in the gym. I mean, in our day it was, you sort of looked at the gym and never went in there, but these days the guys are big. It's all about power and speed, 2020 cricket, and they're hitting the ball a lot longer because they're much stronger. So maybe they've got to try and give the bowlers some incentive. I know at the MCC we talked about the possibility of getting the seams a bit larger, even increasing the number of seams to 8. They're radical ideas, but maybe it's time we started thinking about it.
Because even today, the fast bowler takes wickets up front. Even in a batsman-dominated game like T20, it's still worth his weight in gold. So somewhere down the line, you need to encourage that kind of bowler, don't you? And I just wonder, I mean, you were saying to me some time ago that it's the best time in the world to be a batsman.
Yeah, I think it is. There's not many great opening quick bowlers. I mean, you haven't got the fearsome West Indies quartet or the Wasim Akram and Waugh Yunus, Alan Donald type bowlers around, because they're all struggling to stay on the park, and they're making the option now of playing 2020 rather than Test cricket. So it's probably the best time ever to be a top order batsman in Test cricket right now, because there's not many penetrating, damaging opening bowlers. So we've somehow got to encourage them back into the fold.
Is one of the reasons we're getting so many injuries the fact that they're travelling much more, or is it also because of what you just said? They spend more time in the gym than actually bowling.
And more diagnosis as well. I mean, you've got 1 million people around the side. As soon as you get an inkling, you're off to the MRI scan, which will pick up a strain. 15 years ago, they probably would have played with those strains. But now, as soon as it's diagnosed, everyone's got a responsibility to say, hang on, you've got to have 10 days off to recover. So more diagnosis leads to more injuries, I guess, because they're actually seeing what they are. In the past, they didn't know. I think maybe sometimes different types of training.
Do you like lean travelling teams then? Because sometimes nowadays the travelling entourage is as big as the playing staff.
Yeah, it seems to be out of order sometimes. I mean, I can't see the point in having a batting coach, a fast bowling coach, a spin bowling coach. Surely the actual coach's job is to do that with the help of the players around him. Maybe you can pull someone in occasionally, but these big entourages I think sometimes can confuse the situation. And sport and cricket is always kept the best when it's quite simple.
Because one of the worries I have, and maybe you're the right person to talk about it, is if you've got a coach for every single aspect of the game, then every time you've got a problem, you're running to the coach. In India, we have this terrible thing called academies, where people go from the age of 8, 9, 10. So every time you've got a problem, you go to the coach and say, Coach, what do I do now?
Yeah, sure.
So how does a player learn to think?
They don't, and you're right. You need to think for yourself and work it out, and the best players do that. But if you're too reliant on people to work it out for you, then obviously you get in a game situation, you can't think on your feet, you can't improvise because there's no one there holding your hand.